Good afternoon. It's that time of day again. It's Rob with Ecofine Properties. We're live on Facebook with another local business in our community. Again, we're highlighting local businesses in the community because they are the fabric they are the fabric behind everything and what keeps us strong. And we need positivity, and we need to keep, highlighting these businesses. And I'm pleased to be joined this afternoon by Lisa Collum. She's an author, owner, and CEO of Top Score Writing, and the mother to 4 beautiful children and her one big child, as I call him, Ray. So, Lisa, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Lisa, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's just start there. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So obviously you said I'm a mom of 4, and I've been an educator for over 15 years. It started in Palm Beach County. So I taught for 10 years in the county, and then came up with a way of writing that was really simple for teachers and students, and wrote it all out into books. And now I sell nationwide. So I'm able to impact hundreds of teachers and thousands of students.
And what is Top Score Writing, your company? Tell me a little bit about your company itself.
So Top Score Writing is a curriculum company. So basically, when I was teaching, I saw a need. I was at a struggling school, and there's just not much out there for writing. There's lots of reading and math and science, but writing kind of gets intertwined into reading, and kids, especially in the beginning stages of writing, they just need day-to-day constant repetition and practice to build their writing skills. So there wasn't that, there still isn't. And so I created Top Score Writing. So it started as just a need for me as a teacher. I ended up leaving and everyone needed it. So now I have 2nd through 12th grade. So basically schools buy the curriculum, and the teachers use my lessons to teach the students how to write an essay. So like I said, 2nd through 12th grades available. They open up the books, they have all the lessons, the activities. And on top of that, another part of my business is I'll go out and train schools. So like schools will buy my program, and then I'll go train the teachers on how to use it, best practices, strategies in the classroom, things like that.
I mean, you've just blown up. You're all over the place. I follow you on social media, of course, and we see you're here and you're there, you're in Orlando, you're at all these different school districts, teaching this curriculum to the teachers, and it's much appreciated. And you've been well ahead of this curve with this online. I mean, now everybody, it kind of just got thrown on everyone, and this is scary. Virtual schooling, what do I do? Give me some, tips for parents to just, take a deep breath, relax, and, we'll get through this.
Right. So that's my first tip. Take a deep breath. I made a post about this the other day. This is not normal, and it is what it is, but it's not normal. We just have to accept that. So we can't be expected to work full time and homeschool our kids, and everything's just going to be pretty imperfect. It's not normal. So it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to take time. But besides that being my tip, my other main tip is always, you have to remember your kids were in school. They had a schedule. They had a routine. They looked up at the board every day. They knew what was going on. We have to do that at home now. So although it may sound silly because they're at home, they need that. Kids thrive on structure, and they'll never tell you that. But I promise you, I don't care what age they are, you put some sort of schedule up they have to follow, it makes all the difference in the world. Even as adults, if we don't have a routine to follow, we're kind of out of it, right? We're not as productive. So, I joke, I have, a 3-year-old all the way up to a 14-year-old. So for me, I've got schedules with stickers and cute stuff. And then my 14-year-old, he still has a schedule, not so much of, you need to be doing this, this, and this, but I just, if he's done with school at 1 p.m., they don't go to bed till what, 10? What are they gonna do for 9 hours? So kids just need some sort of routine. So I'll put things up like, 1 to 2 o'clock outside play, 2 to 3 o'clock chores, 3 to 4 o'clock free time with friends on, like I set up Zoom meetings or FaceTime situations with their friends so they can still have some sort of social interaction and things like that. But schedules, routines, if parents haven't created that, highly suggest it. And knowing that it's okay to change it up, because after a couple of weeks, you're like, yeah, this isn't working. That's okay. Like, we're not going to find the perfect system right away.
And I can assure you that Lisa does have a schedule. I've seen it with her kids with basketball. I don't know how you fit it into a day. You have a game in Davie and then a game in Port St. Lucie, and one kid's playing baseball. I mean, it's just incredible how you and Ray, I mean, you guys both figure it out, but it's amazing.
Yeah, and I think just overall, whether it's at home with your kids, with your business, with everything all together, sports, just having that set schedule, writing it out. And I was telling a group the other day I was speaking to online, I said, it's one thing to create the schedule, but you got to put it up, because kids did that in school. As educators, we put up the schedule, and we all day long, you see kids' eyes going to where it's posted. They know. And I bet if you ask your kid right now, what time was reading at school? They'd be like 9:40 to 10:35. They know the exact times of their schedule because they've been trained on it. So we just need to provide that same thing at home. And I also suggest having your kid be a part of it, because how cool is that to make the schedule, say, oh, I want to do this then, or can I do this later if I do this much work? And then they'll be even more prone to follow it because they've been a part of making it.
What about for parents out there that, and I'm included in that, I learned math a different way, and they have this homework, and I'm looking at them going, oh man. And, I know Google's out there and YouTube's out there, and there's some things we can use at our disposal that maybe we haven't thought of. But, if kids are having problems and the parents really can't help too much in certain subjects, what do you suggest they do in that instance?
So, and that's just across the board, right? Some people are really good in math, some writing, some reading. And I think what we need to remember is we're not truly homeschooling. Like, teachers are providing the lessons, they're there, whether it's live or recorded lessons. So we have to remember, we've got to reach out to the teachers. And I think a lot of times the kids may not tell you, especially your older ones, but there's a lot of resources teachers are providing. Every school's different, but whether they do a live session, they do a recorded session, there's resources, and they're willing to jump on a phone call or jump on a Zoom like this. So we have to remind our kids, if you're struggling, let us know and set up that time. I know a lot of teachers that are doing even like virtual office hours where kids can jump on during a time just to ask questions. They need to take advantage of that. And just as an example, one of my kids, he's done every day by like 12 or 1, but the teacher's office hours are at 3. So he's not too keen on jumping on at 3. But when he has a question, I have to remind him we need to go on and take advantage of that time. So we do have a lot of support. And, I also will say this, do the best you can. I don't think we're expected to be 100% perfect, because we're not all, we don't have mastery in all the different subjects. We have to remember that.
And we have family that live in Pennsylvania, and right now they've literally canceled school for the rest of the year. School is done for the rest of the year. I know Florida's kind of, I think, still in that limbo stage. I don't know if it's canceled yet or not. Maybe I'm misspeaking. I'm not sure if it's canceled yet. But, at the same time, this online schooling is a productive thing and a good thing to keep their kids' minds flowing, because, I don't know how you just stop now and then say, hey, we're back next year. And, I don't know how this is all going to work out, but.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like, we already suffer from the summer slide, as they call it, right? Because we go 2 months. We can't go 4 or 5 months. So it is important. But we have to remember, too, that there is reading, math, science, writing, but there's also cooking that's learning, or outside building something that's learning. Things your kids would never get to do. This is also like a huge opportunity. And I also just want to point out, because I think this is important, that your kid that may have struggled in school because they don't like to sit for 6 hours straight, if you break out their school all day from like 8 to 6, you may see them flourishing and doing awesome, because now they've got these breaks and they can do reading at this time and math a few hours later and science a few hours later. And they may do better just because they're not forced to sit in that spot for 6 hours straight.
And I think that's perfect what you said there. Every kid learns a little differently, right? Some people are more visual learners. Some people can listen to a professor or a teacher talk for hours.
Right.
But you can take, let's just use math, for instance. I know you're writing, but let's just use math, for instance. If your kid is a visual learner, maybe go outside and find some stones and do, addition and subtraction. Just find creative ways to teach them, and not just set them in this, we're in school right now and you have to do this. Because I'm guilty of that myself. And my wife's probably going to be laughing over here, but I'm guilty of that myself. But find creative ways. Am I right?
That's it. I mean, seriously, this is what I'm talking about with opportunity. Like, even something, this may sound silly, but letting your kid do reading outside on a blanket, like, it's different. I even have, like, in my office out here, I have desks set up for my kids, but I don't make them sit there all day to do their schoolwork, because for me, they do better with different environments, changing things up. So if we can do anything hands-on, we do it, and changing the environment. So maybe go do math out on the porch, or reading laying down on the couch. As long as they're doing the work, we're able to change things up. And for a lot of kids, that's all they need.
And Lisa, you also, top score writing, you're offering free online classes. Is that correct? Did I say the word free online
You said it.
classes? Go ahead,
Yep.
tell me about that.
Yep, we're on week 4, and I'm going to continue till we go back, which at this point, I think we're going to probably spend the rest of the school year out. But as of right now, it's at least till May 1st. We know that in Palm Beach County. So every week, 2nd through 8th grade students get free lessons on the online website. And so I decided to do this, obviously there's the whole pandemic going on, but for two sides of it. Really, I wanted this for teachers because teachers were all of a sudden told, you have 5 days to transform your entire class online and make all the lessons. And so I wanted to take this off the teachers' plates because now they don't have to go create writing lessons. They can just send their kids to the website and say, watch lesson 5 and complete the activity. But also for parents that wanted writing assignments for their kids to do at home, because believe it or not, there's still a lot of schools out there that don't have a writing program. So that the parent may say, you know what, I want my kid to take advantage of this time and brush up on their writing skills or do better with their writing, and they can send their kids to the website. So it's really for parents and teachers to use. And so every week I record and upload 3 lessons per grade level. So we're on week 4. So you're going to see 12 lessons for 2nd and 3rd grade, 12 lessons for 4th and 5th grade, and 12 lessons for middle school. And I did it so you can literally tell your kid or student, go watch, and you don't have to do anything. I did that on purpose because I wanted an opportunity for parents who have to work or work with another kid to be able to have something 100% where the student can do it on their own. So it truly is where teachers can say, go do lesson 5, watch it, send me the activity. And it's just a one-stop shop. It's easy for them to navigate and complete the lesson. So that's all available, and I'll continue that through the rest of the year. And my hope is just that everyone who is working on writing, you remember these kids were supposed to be tested. So they had worked really hard up until April. And I don't want it to be like, oh, well done. No, I want to continue, becoming really good writers because it's a life skill. You're going to need this in middle school, high school, college, probably for a job. So it's something you don't want to just let slack on it and lose the skills. And if you haven't worked on writing, it's a great opportunity to jump on it. So yes, totally free. There is, when you go to the website, there is one sign up where you'll put in your name and email. And the only reason I did that is because I have so many additional resources I want to be able to send out. I'm going to do that through email. So once you sign up one time, you're good to go and you can log on to lessons anytime.
That's awesome, Lisa. I mean, that's just amazing, giving this free service, to these people in our community, our local community. Another question I have is, what message, if there's kids that may be watching this or their parents show them this later, what's your message to the kids out there right now that are out of school and maybe they've been playing a lot of video games and they haven't concentrated too much on their schoolwork?
Yeah, I think first of all, I want the kids to know that we know this is hard and this is different. It's very hard to be self-motivated. But at the same time, we have to remember we have school till the end of May, technically. So we just want to make sure we're keeping our brains going because we already have off during the summer. So kids need to remember your off times during the summer, but try your best to stay on top of things with school to keep your brain fresh, keep learning. So that way next year when you go to school, you're right where you need to be. You don't want to be lost or behind at all. So take advantage of this time, but communicate with your parent and your teacher. That's the biggest thing. If you're struggling, don't just give up because your teacher's there. There's lots of resources to help and take advantage of that.
And we have links to Lisa, where to register. It's in the Facebook post for those that are watching right now. It's right there. You can register right online. Click on the link, and it'll take you to Lisa's page. Lisa, what is your website? It's, just so everyone knows out there. I have it up there. But what's your website?
Yep, it's just www.topscorewriting and then to topscorewriting.com, and then to access the free online lessons, you're just going to do /online-learning. And once you go there, like I said, you'll sign up and it'll take you to all the lessons.
What's this time period been like for you? You're always a busy person anyway, and you've done, I said, this online schooling and all this stuff already. And what's it been like for you personally?
It's funny because I'm super busy with work, which is great. But at the same time, for me, I'm not doing my normal from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. running to every sport and every kid and every activity. So it's been an opportunity for me to have a lot more family time, downtime. And I think it's just totally needed. I think we all needed it in some way. I was joking the other day that I've never rode my bike so much in my life, and I wish I did before. I don't know why. But it's nice because I'm thankful to be busy during the day, but it's really nice to be able to do different things in the evenings with the kids. And, we try to stay on that routine of work and school during the day, and then we have our evening time and things like that. So there's a lot of new things, crafts and painting, and I've never swam so much and fished so much, but it's awesome. So although it's a crazy, uncertain time, I like the fact that we all get to slow down a little bit.
And Ray's baking, is that true? Ray was baking a cake
He's
yesterday.
attempting. He's baking and leaving the dishes everywhere. So yeah, it's interesting because there's 6 of us in the house. So we try to do our own things with school and work during the day, but everyone's all in this room right next to my office.
And again, one last thing you just said, it's a schedule, it's a routine, it's trying to stick to that schedule. It's hard some days. It's not easy. Maybe if you get a little off schedule, but try to keep a schedule. I mean, right?
Yeah, and that's just it. They're going to be off days, and that's okay. And if it's totally where something like the kids struggling in school and then the parents frustrated, just close the computer. Pick up on it later. That's the beauty of it, right? We don't have to be done by 1 or 2. Because the thing is, and I'm guilty of this. Just this morning, my elementary, my 3rd grader had 5 different things on 5 different sites, and he was struggling. I was trying to work. I couldn't figure it out. He kept coming up to me, and at one point I was like, just take a break and we'll pick this up later, because I don't want my frustrations to come out on him. And that's going to be the struggle for us all as parents with kids at home, is we're going to get frustrated sometimes trying to work and help them, but we just have to, I don't want it to go off on the kids, if that makes sense. I don't want to, they're already, this is the unknown. This is crazy to them. So they just have to, they're going to pick up off our vibes. So stay as positive as you can.
And just one more time, Lisa Collum from Top Score Riding. She's the author, owner, and CEO of Top Score Riding. Lisa, one more time, where can people go if they're interested in your free service? Tell us one more time, just so we reiterate, what's this free service you're offering to people out there?
Yep. So it's free online writing lessons for 2nd through 8th grade. So even if you have a 1st grader, they can still do 2nd grade. If you have high school, they could still jump on the 8th grade. Writing is writing. Okay. Not much changes year to year. So take advantage of it regardless of where you are as far as grade level. So 2nd through 8th grade, free lessons, and they'll just click on the link. They'll watch the lesson. There'll be an activity with every lesson. Everything's right there for them. There are things to be printed, but if you don't have a printer, I show it on the screen and I tell the students in the lesson to pause. So totally doable regardless of what supplies you have. And the website is www.topscorewriting.com/online-learning.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks again. I mean, again, another member of our local community out there helping people and making a difference. We're all in it together. We're all in this
That's
together, and we need to be strong. We need to stay positive. There's some days it's hard, and I go stir crazy, Lisa. I'm sure you do too.
Yep.
But we need to remain positive. We need to keep, leaning on each other and supporting each other. And that's why, again, I said, if there's anyone out there, I'm going to switch my screen real quick to show you guys I'm getting used to this switching of my background here. There's my name right there, and my phone number and my email address. So any other local businesses out there that are interested in staying relevant, I mean, it's hard. Businesses are closed, but you still want to stay relevant and let people know you're out there. Feel free to contact me. It's 561-801-6621 or rob@echofineproperties.com. We'd love to bring you on, just like we did Lisa today. I know this isn't as big as being on Dr. Phil, Lisa. I'm sorry. Lisa was on
I
Dr.
love
Phil.
this because it's local community. And, as much as I've marketed and done everything, and most of the schools use it, it's amazing because, a lot of people still don't know about it. So anything I can do to share about the free lessons, I want to do. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep. And if you know any local businesses, send them my way. Anybody watching this, again, feel free to reach out. We'd love to highlight your business, even if you're closed right now. Maybe a local restaurant. Maybe you could show us some cooking tips. I need some cooking tips myself. Maybe it's baking tips.
Yes, please.
Something. Help
Yeah.
us out. But we can bring you on, and this goes to our local community. It's about our local community. That's what we're about. That's what I'm about. My family. And again, Lisa, I just want to thank you again. That's Lisa Collum from Top Score Riding. If you haven't followed Lisa yet, though, you got to get on it. She's at Lisa Collum CEO on Instagram, and you'll find some good posts there, Lisa.
Yeah, try to share all my tips and resources. So that's a good resource as well for everybody.
Well, thanks again. And everyone, enjoy your afternoon.